Hi guys, welcome back. I've had the miniatures curing on the little hot plate for a little while now, and I think they're pretty much ready to go for the second layer now. For the next mix of putty, I'm going to be using Sculpt 50/50 of each one, the hardener and the resin compounds, mixed with 50/50 of the yellow and green stuff. I'm going to mix those together and create a nice formula, which is it will have a nice smoothing properties, and I just find it easier to work with, you know, when I'm sketching out the initial sort of shape for the miniatures. So as you can see there, you can see the shape of the figures. I've put some definition into the sort of shape of the legs, and sort of sketched out a sort of chest and where the head is. I mean, you can also carve that afterwards. You know, if you think it's a little bit too thick in areas, just carve that down slightly. Anyway, we're going to get to it now. So first of all, the camera doesn't drop too low. Try and move it up a little bit for you guys. Right, so let's get 50%, 50/50 mix on these. I'm not going to get too much, just enough to do the one main figure that I've been working on, which I've been filming for you guys. The whiter part of the Sculpt is quite sticky, and it tends to stick to your fingers. Yeah, it's sort of best to use something to get that out with when it comes to getting the two parts together. Right, next up we've got the green stuff. So let's have a look at the amounts we got there. A little bit more, probably mixing a little bit too much than I need. That usually happens. It's always just mix a little bit less than you think that you need, and that's usually the right amount. Right, so it's a little bit more yellow than blue, but that's okay. So I'm going to start mixing the two together. As I said, the white part of the Sculpt is quite sticky. But if you've only worked with green stuff has been compared by people in the past to being a bit like bubblegum, which I can confirm it is. I mean, it's more I can't pronounce it. It's more rubbery. Elasticity. Can't pronounce it. But the Sculpt and the green stuff, you're getting you know, both properties. You know, the Sculpt, it's nice and smooth, and it makes the green stuff softer, so it is easier to blend. The only thing is it's not as sticky as green stuff when you come to apply it. And as you can see, it sort of breaks apart. It doesn't, it's hasn't got that I can't pronounce it, sorry. It hasn't got that sort of rubbery feel that the green stuff has when you mix the two. But you could try various formulas if you wanted to mix more green stuff to get that sort of feel of the green stuff, and also retain some of the hardness that the Magisculpt has when it sets. Yeah, they both cure when mixed together, so there's no issues there. Anyway, I'm nearly ready to start blocking this out. So this is the second pass, and what I'm going to do is sort of layer it up. Start sort of with the legs. I'm keeping an eye on the design, which is that one there, the far left, and just use that as a sort of guide to what I'm trying to make the sculpt look like. So we'll get started. So as I said before, I mean it's better to sort of start with a small amount and add to it. And I'm putting it on with my fingers here. Sorry, you can't see that. I have to remember to make sure that I'm in frame. When you start sculpting, your concentration sort of gets into it, so I apologise if it does go out of frame and you can't see what I'm doing. So I'm just covering the now fully cured first layer with this second mix of Magisculpt and green stuff. I might actually do one of the other models as well before going on to sculpting this one further, because it needs a little time to just cure. It's better when it's had a little bit of time to rest and just go off a bit. It's not so soft, and it will take the detail, the sketching that you're going to do. I'm also going to do part of the feet. I'm going to do the claws, and then I'll do a third layer and skin the feet. So just have to try and get the right amount I need for the claws, and remembering to keep it in frame. This is the first time I've ever done any sort of sculpting videos. I'm using quite a heavy camera on a harness, and it's a little bit tricky to keep it in frame, unfortunately. I'll do my best for you guys. So just blocking it out, just trying to get the right amounts. Sort of just going to his sort of middle. I think I'll only have enough time to sort of do that in this stint, because I'm going to do another one as well. This guy, I've got enough to stop blocking him out. Now, the terminology that I use might not be correct. I'm a self-taught sculptor, So some of the terms I use might not be, you might have not heard before, but I hope they make sense. Right. He's looking a bit thick, but you know, you can always take some off. You don't have to stick with how much you put on there initially. Let me just move this back a bit. Move my chair back a bit. Trying to get a good position here. Right. His legs are quite thick. I'm gonna... Sorry, you can't see that. Let's move this light round a little bit. It's quite tricky trying to get the right position, unfortunately. I'm sure I'll get better at it, but right now it's a little bit tricky. We'll start to use the tool in a minute. Just making sure this is properly stuck on there. And then I'm just gradually pushing the putty down the leg to the foot. Just looking all the time, make sure I've got an even coverage. In the beginning, when you put the first layer on, it's not essential to get the anatomy correct or really do any details, because you're going to put another layer over it and that sort of will cover anything that you've really done. I mean, one thing that you have to bear in mind is that you want to get all the shapes and proportions correct when you're doing sort of second skinning process. And sorry, just concentrating a bit. Right, so I'm just gonna trying to keep it in view for you guys.